Alright, let's have a little chat about what went on yesterday in London. The so-called Unite the Kingdom March. Tommy Robinson and his far-right pals leading 100,000, well, what do you call them? Certainly a large portion of them are racist, but I wouldn't say they're all exactly the same. I wouldn't say they've all got the same level of racism. Some are absolute Nazis, fascists, just like Tommy Robinson and his hardcore of evil shithouses. But a lot of them are what you might call patriotic or just concerned citizens who've been fed this lie, a bunch of lies, by the fascists and by the ruling class of Britain and the media that serves the ruling class. They've been fed all these racist lies, and of course the left, which would ordinarily provide an alternative viewpoint and a route away from fascism, has been weakened severely by the battles in recent years and the battles of the last few decades, actually, since Thatcher. The left has been severely damaged, severely weakened, so that working class people, especially those who were disconnected from the working class movement due to not being in a trade union or whatever, they don't have this alternative route. They're not connected up, so they're easily lured and suckered by these far-right opportunists, and they end up following scum like Tommy Robinson and Nigel Farage. Farage, by the way, wasn't there, I don't think, on this event because he doesn't like Tommy Robinson, but that's a different matter. That's a division of the far right, but we'll not talk about that today. I want to talk about the event itself and why it came about and what we can do to prevent fascism from taking root in Britain and taking over Britain. Now, that event, as I say, there's certainly a hardcore contingent of Nazis involved, leading it, organising it, spreading the vile hatred around through their various channels and, resources. But there's a lot of lost people who they're just gullible, they're just fooled by the lies, and the decent people, they're just being given this bullshit, and it's being reinforced constantly, and they're not getting an alternative view of reality. What we have to do is provide that alternative view, a progressive, respectable worldview, an anti-capitalist view, a view where, it's all about the working class and spreading the wealth, taxing the rich, protecting our public services, in particular the health service, the NHS. We have to protect that. We have to fight for better wages and defend the most vulnerable in society. This march was all about the exact opposite of that. It was bullying the most vulnerable, picking on powerless people, making targets out of powerless people, and protecting the super rich, protecting the scum at the top, and punching the people at the bottom. That's what fascism's all about. It's twisted, it's evil, it's an ideology for bullies and bigots, racist scum, sexist, homophobic scum. It should have no legitimacy in society, but sadly it's gaining that legitimacy through the media. Even the Labour Party, even Keir Starmer is pandering to the far right instead of fiercely opposing it. He's helping with that fucking legitimacy. The fucking class traitor. So the left is weak. It's unable to counter fascism at the moment. It needs to get its act together, and it needs to come back strong, unified, and absolutely determined to smash the fascist threat. Because let's fucking face it, we don't want fascism in Britain. We've seen what fascism does in Germany, in Italy, in Spain, in the 1930s. It's not something we should want for Britain. It's evil. So let's fucking build a better society, man. Build the left. Build the left and oppose the far right. And fight your rulers. Because this is the whole reason for fascism growing in Britain at the minute. The rich ruling class are taking the fucking piss. They're taking more and more wealth from us, the working class, who create the wealth. They're taking more from us, making us poorer, and to distract us from that fact, they're spreading racism. Because racism takes our minds off our rich rulers and makes us hate immigrants instead, or Muslims. It keeps us focused on a false enemy. An enemy that is not an enemy at all. In fact, it's a section of our own class that we are hating. And because we're doing that, the rich ruling class can carry on making us poorer. We're just causing our own fucking misery by falling for this lie, this distraction. And of course the far right, the scum, the Nazis, they just feed off that. Their movement grows off that. The ignorance, the hate for minorities, they grow off that. And if we're not fucking careful, they'll actually take power. And they'll unite with the rich ruling class and destroy all of our freedoms. They'll take it all away, like they did in the fascist countries in the past. They took everything away. Everything. There is no freedom in a fascist dictatorship. None. Why would you want that for Britain? Come on, man. Let's get our fucking shit together. Let's stand united. Protect the vulnerable. Black and white, unite and fight the Nazi threat. It was awful watching that march yesterday. Fucking awful. Because that's the biggest far-right march there's ever been in this country. It's a great victory for them. They're over the moon with it, these Nazis. Imagine all those soldiers who fought fascism in World War II. All those British soldiers who died, give their lives to fight Hitler. And Hitler's ideas are now marching through London. Through a whole new generation of Nazis. Why, man? Why? But I get it. People are disconnected from the working class movement. And these fascists are very opportunistic. Shapeshifters, in fact. They tell you what you want to hear. Or they make you hear what they want you to hear, regardless. Through violence, if necessary. They're just fucking horrible people, man. Horrible people with horrible views, a horrible ideology, and horrible intentions. And Britain would be a much worse place if they had their way. Much fucking worse. I mean, when do they ever fight for the NHS? When do you ever hear Tommy Robinson supporting striking workers who are fighting for the jobs or better wages, better conditions, or pensions or whatever? He doesn't support them. In fact, the party he started in, the BNP, the leader of the BNP in 1984, when the miners were on strike, said that Thatcher should turn the machine guns on the miners. Turn the machine guns on them. That's what fascism's about. Protecting the super rich and repressing the working class. But a lot of people are falling for the lies, man. Falling for this fucking fraud who's walking about in Stone Island gear and sniffing coke and thinking he's fucking God's gift to fucking politics. This little fucking jumped up squirt of a man, a former football hooligan with a criminal record. He's a fucking arsehole. Why are people following him, man? But I get it. The left is weak. The alternative view isn't being heard. The media does a great job of keeping the left out of the public consciousness. And the rich ruling class are laughing at the working class at the minute because we're not fighting them. Lots of people are distracted by this racism, and the trade unions are not fighting as hard as they should be. We're on our arse, man. The working class is on its arse, and a section of it is actually doing exactly what the ruling class wants and feeding fascism in the process. Oh man, it's not good. It's not fucking good. It has to be reversed. The left needs to get its shit together and come back hard and strong and fucking fiercely determined. And I hope that happens. I really do hope that happens. Because if it doesn't, if these fascists get more influence in society, then the danger is they could actually achieve power. And once they're in power, that's it. That's it. We're all fucked. All our rights will be taken away. All our freedoms will be exploited to the max for the rich to get rich off our backs. And we won't be able to vote or protest to shut them down, to get rid of them, to weaken them, or anything like that. We will be powerless, utterly powerless. And then, of course, anybody who does fight back will be killed. And the minorities will be killed. And you'll have a Holocaust all over again but in this country, not Germany. And that, you know, if you love your country, if you love Britain, why would you want it to be fascist? Because forever it will be remembered for that. Germany will never escape its fascist past. Even today, people, you know, connect fascism with Germany. Hitler did that. Let's not let Tommy Robinson do that to our country. Our country should be known as tolerant, as equal as we can make it, economically, I mean. The wealth should be spread, you know, like they do in Scandinavian countries. They spread the wealth more, and society is more harmonious as a result. People are looked after, and people are happier, and people get along better, and there's less crime and all of that. Britain's so divided, man. It's so divided. The wealth gap is unreal in this country now. Fucking unreal. The widest it's ever been in the whole of history. We need to narrow that gap. But the fascists are all for widening it even further. Because they want to be part of that elite. That's the problem. The fascists, they don't want to be part of the working class. They think they're better than us. They want to be part of the rich elite. They want an alliance with the rich elite so they can use us to make wealth for them. Tommy Robinson, that's all he fucking wants. Power and privilege for himself. Ultimately, that's what he's all about. Don't fucking believe his shit, man. Don't believe it for a second. So, yeah, oppose fascism. Oppose the ruling class. Support the left. Support your trade unions. Support the movement against war, the movement against poverty, the movement against fascism. And let's just make society better, man. I want that. You should want that. We should all want that. Because our kids and our grandkids and their kids have to grow up in this society. And who wants to live in a society riddled with hate, where people are too scared to come out their houses, where people are fucking living in fear, and minorities especially live tormented because of these horrible bastards roaming the streets, putting fucking flags up outside, roundabouts, and that's just the start of it. Just wait till they're fucking smashing up shops and dragging people out of their homes in the middle of the night. It's all coming if we go down the road to fascism. It's evil. It must be stopped. But anyway, yeah, I've gone on too much. It was a horrible event yesterday. I know they're celebrating it, the Scum, the leaders of that event. But a lot of the people who were there can be saved, pulled away from fascism, back at least to the centre of politics, and hopefully beyond that to the left, to socialism. We've got to do that. We've got to try and win everyone we can. And that means that re-educating people, you know, giving them that alternative set of ideas where it's not about hate and division and elitism and hierarchy and bullshit and funding Tommy Robinson's little fucking coke habit. It's not about that. It's about all of us together, getting on, helping each other, building communities, and protecting the services we all rely on, especially the health service, the NHS. We all need that. Tommy Robinson would get rid of it in a heartbeat. Why? Because he can fucking afford to do without it, and he doesn't believe in socialism, where we all look out for each other and we all benefit from what we put in. He doesn't believe in a society like that. He doesn't believe in collectivism and community. He believes in elitism, with him at the very top, the Führer. Well, fuck the Führer. Let's look out for each other, man. Let's build a society where working class people are better off, not fucking worse off, under a little tin pot dictator. Anyway, I'm going to end it there. I could go on all night about this shit, man. I'm so fucking vexed. I'm so fucking vexed that people are falling for this. Good people, you know, good people. People I know, relatives of mine have fallen for this shit. People I've been mates with all my life have fallen for this shit. And I'm doing my best, man. I'm doing my best to convince them otherwise, but fighting a losing battle at the minute. And it's making us want to get back into activism. I've been quiet for a decade. I've been inactive for a decade, but fuck me. This is pulling us back, man. This is making us want to get involved again. And when I get involved, I get really fucking involved. And I don't know, at 55-year-old, I don't know if I've got that in us now. But fuck me, I think I'm going to find out. Anyway, yeah, fuck fascism. Nazi scum off our streets. Fucking, build a working class movement, man. Build it. Join a union. Support the campaigns that benefit us all and protect the NHS. And Starmer, he is a wanker. And we're building a new party. Your party. I've already talked about this in another video. We're building a new left party. And hopefully it's going to have a 10-point programme that all working class people should agree on. Because they're the things we need. Not fascism. Fucking socialism. Anyway, see you in the next one. Tatty bye, bonjour, and solidarity. Good night.